I think, first of all, from a team perspective, very proud of the guys, proud of our football team. I mentioned it on Thursday to y'all, but this has been a resilient group all season long, and they respond every time. Their backs feel like they're against the wall, and they did it again today. Thought we played a very complete football game in all three phases. And we took care of the ball offensively. Jalen Ford again creates another turnover on defense. I think when you go on the road in elements like this, you got to pack your defense and you got to pack your run game. And defense, tremendous performance again tonight. This offense had been coming in averaging 36 or so, 37 points a game and running the ball. They're running the ball well over 200 yards a game. Devin Neal had been over 400 yards the last two outings. So to hold them to 14 points, to hold them to just about 100 yards rushing, to hold him to 50 yards, that's a heck of a performance by those guys against a difficult offense to defend. And then offensively, all the credit in the world to the offensive line, and then to the runners, most notably, obviously, Bijan to do what he did, 243 yards, 4 touchdowns. But I thought all of them ran well, whether it was Rowe early in the game, Keelan making the play on the screen, to Jonathan Brooks, I thought he showed a lot, and even Jaden Blue. So solid performance on special teams, a couple nice punt returns by Xavier to set up scores. So all in all, proud of the guys, of just their ability to bounce back. I thought they showed a lot of resiliency. I thought the energy was good for the elements that we had, and the guys stayed engaged. So good all-around team win.
Questions? Start with Jeff.
Sark, did you feel like it was conducive to run the ball tonight, or did you really want to get back to establishing the physical?
There's probably a combination of both. We pride ourselves on running the ball, and clearly last week we did not. We did not do it to the standard in which we do. Then the elements coupled with that kind of lend itself to, we got to have the ability to run the ball. I got asked before the game, what's going to be the key tonight? And my last comment was, number 5's got to show up tonight. We're going to need him in this ball game, and he certainly did. He had a heck of a game.
Just about Bijan, some of the runs, including that last one right before halftime, were some of the most impressive ones. Is that
Yeah.
Every time he does something new, it's kind of amazing every time you see it?
Yeah, it was interesting because I had a little bit of a tough angle on the run to see exactly what went on, but our sideline, you almost felt like it was one of those moments in practice where everybody watched the cut that he made, and it was like an ooh and an ah from the sideline as the play was going on still, as he was still running. And so he does that a lot, man. He does things that we all marvel at. But I thought his competitive spirit sometimes gets overlooked, and his competitive spirit was one. He knew what today was going to be, and he showed up, and he played hard, man. He really ran the ball hard. He was explosive. Even the run right before the end of the half, leaping over the pile to get himself into the end zone there with 1 second. And I thought that it just shows what he's made of, man. This guy, he loves his teammates, and he knew how important this game was to everybody.
We see him on Mondays, and he's smiling and joking and slapping the back. But he told us he's not that guy on Saturday.
Right.
And do y'all see a lot of that in practice? Because you did mention this spring that he talked a lot more noise.
Yeah, no, that's the thing about Bijan. He's such a nice human being that sometimes he doesn't get enough credit for the competitive spirit that he has. I mean, this guy is. You don't get to where you're at in your career by just being talented. He's got a great competitive spirit. I think his own room pushes him. Obviously Roshan, Keelan, Brooksy, those guys push him, and then he loves the competition. And in practice, it shows up. When we go good on good, there's times in season sometimes we like to pull him out, and he's chomping at the bit to get back in there. So I think that's just what he's made of, man. He's a special person beyond a special player, but that competitive spirit sometimes gets overlooked on him.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, just how important was this performance for your offensive line, especially coming off a tough game against TCU, and then to maybe get some of those other guys in later in the game?
That was great. Those guys, I thought the line of scrimmage was very clean tonight. They gave Bijan an opportunity to get to the second level, which is when he's at his best to make people miss. And so that's part of it. One of the key points we talked about last night with the guys on offense was the line of scrimmage was going to be big. We had to keep it clean. And this team there's a lot of movement, a lot of stunning and different things going on. So to keep it clean was big. And then a lot of guys played. We got DJ Campbell in there a little earlier, and then the rest of those guys got in, and they moved the pile. They took care of the line of scrimmage, and we got a bright future when you look at the running back room and you look at that offensive line room of where we're going to be as a program. But just proud of about 10 of those guys that they were able to play tonight up front.
Coach, so most Mondays we pointed out, hey, what's going on on the road? You guys have won 2 out of the last 3, on the road.
2 in a row.
2 in a row. Then of course, when you look at the entire season, you guys haven't had a loss for more than 7 points. You average about 5.5, and you still have an opportunity with the Big 12 championship, games, stuff like that. So, when you look at it, is it a little bit better maybe than sometimes the people on the outside?
I think so, and I think our locker room feels it. I think our coaching staff feels it. We've made a lot of great strides this year, and it's easy to point to a play here, a play there, in a couple of these games, and what could be. But at the end of the day, we're the team that we are, and we've got this group. Again, I think it starts with our leadership, and I think it starts with our culture. We got a bunch of fighters in that room. We got a great deal of resiliency. These guys show an unbelievable amount of perseverance, and I'm very proud of them. I told them that in that locker room, because a lot of teams, it's hard to get back up off the mat after these tough losses. And every time we challenge them, they do it. And as their coach, I was proud of them. I'm very, very proud of them for what they showed and the maturity they showed this week to prepare for this game, and then to come in here under these elements and perform the way they did. And we got one more to go. We got one more regular season to go, a season game to go. Different emotions. It's a short week, senior night, or senior day. And so at the end of the day, we owe it to our seniors to prepare really well for them. We owe it to ourselves as a team to put ourselves in the best position to potentially make it to the Big 12 championship game. We can't control everything, but what we can control is preparing really well and playing really well in our final home game at DKR and final home game for our seniors at DKR in their career. So that's where we're headed.
Got time for a couple last ones. Start with Danny.
Steve first, is there a Roshan update?
I think I don't think it's serious, first of all, okay? Now, to what degree, I don't know, so we'll monitor it here. It's a lower leg issue, but he's very confident he'll be back, so we just got to see, how it plays out.
And then as you attack this short week, is it kind of a mow your own run mentality, not focusing on Kansas State, or is that part of the
I don't think we can. We got to worry about ourselves, and we got a great challenge. Baylor's a very good football team, as we all know. And so we've got to prepare for a short week, a little different schedule for us. We'll get back with the guys, have them in tomorrow, and review this film, make the corrections off of this film, and then Monday morning when they come back in, it'll be all, prep for Baylor. It's a short week by day. It's a short week by kickoff time, too, with an 11 a.m. kick Friday. So we got to get our bodies back. We got to make sure we're fresh come Friday at 11.
Jeff.
Noticed real late, it seemed like you turned over play calling once the game was way out at the end. Did you do that, and at what point?
I did not. No, I called every play. Sometimes I don't need to look at the call sheet. I have a pretty good idea of what we're doing. So, in the end, no, I kept going with it.
Last one, Jeff.
So you get 14-0 lead, you got those 2 plays, Mo Black against the TFL, and 4 opportunities. How big was that right there? Does that kind of sum up just that attack mentality?
Yeah, we wanted to stay aggressive today. And what I love is tonight we're talking about some different people. Mo Blackwell showing up on defense. 4th down stop by some different folks there. Jonathan Brooks running the ball. So to me, that's the growth of our program, that other names are starting to show up. Other guys are starting to make plays to go along with a lot of the same names, the Jalen Fords, the Jade Barons, the Bijan Robinsons. Those guys are still showing up, but I think we're seeing maturity and growth for some other players as well.